Hey guys, it's Kyra and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I will be doing an entire face using one brand of makeup. The brand I'll be using today, as you guys can see by the title of the video, will be Model's Own. Now this is a brand that I have seen plenty enough of at Ulta. Their brand is pretty, I love the branding of it. I just love the logo and everything. So I've stumbled across it before in Ulta. I've just never tried it out before, and this past week I received a bunch of goodies from them. I received a setting spray, a primer, an eyeshadow, a foundation, which is actually not my actual skin complexion, but we'll make it work. I received liquid highlighter, some lipsticks, things like that. So a bunch of goodies, and I was like, why not go ahead and actually do a full face using just this one brand, or as much of the brand as I can. I may have to substitute a couple things in here and there, like the foundation I mentioned is not the right shade, things like that, things that I'm missing. But for the most part, the goal is to use mostly all Model's Own, and I am very, very excited because it is a affordable brand. Let's see what we have here. So again, I mentioned I have an eyeshadow palette. I have the Barely There 2 Model's Own eyeshadow palette. I have their One Night Stand setting spray. I have their face base, which is a primer. I have their Sculpt and Glow liquid highlighter. I have actually I have two, their Cover It full coverage concealers, and I got them in the shade 02 and 03. I have a Sculpt and Glow highlighter powder, and this is in the shade Golden Sand. I haven't even actually opened up and swatched most of this stuff, so you guys will be getting like a full face of one brand plus like a first impressions. Let's see, I also got a lip plumper, matte liquid lipstick, which looks really pretty. Another liquid lipstick, and this one, ooh, these are actually both really pretty shades. Yeah, this looks really, really pretty. So I have the shade Matte Naked, which is more of like, looks more like a brown terracotta shade, and then I have Berry Cool, which is like a really deep berry. Oh, and then the foundation, I have the Runway Matte Foundation. I got it in the shade Espresso, which, if you guys can see, is obviously a little bit too dark. Actually, it may not be. I'll swatch it and see. I haven't actually swatched it yet, but in the container it looks a bit too dark. And if it is, I may just use this shade for like contouring or bronzing, things like that, and just use a normal foundation for my all over base shade. So, okay, so as you can see, my brows are already done. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes first and then do the foundation in my skin routine. So I'm gonna just go ahead and prime my lids first, so that way the eyeshadow will have something to stick to and have a nice smooth base. Okay, and now I'm gonna be taking the Barely There 2 palette. I haven't even opened this and or swatched this yet, so I'm excited. Ooh. Okay, so it's your standard neutral palette. You guys know I am a neutral girl. I love neutral shades, and so I feel like this is definitely up my alley. It's also kind of similar, like the shades are kind of similar to the same range of shades that are in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam that I just reviewed a couple videos ago. So this is very, very pretty. I'm excited to try it out, and it looks like it's going to work for my skin tone. That's always my problem or my concern whenever it comes to eyeshadow palettes, is having shades that are too light or too fair to actually really work with brown skin. But these shades, especially like the matte shades, like this one here and this one here, will definitely work on my skin tone. So I'm going to go in first with the shade Slip. Yeah, the shade Slip, which is this soft brown. Actually, it kind of has a bit of a peach undertone. I'm gonna take that one there as my transition shade, and I'm using a Morphe M330 brush. Ooh, okay, so one thing to know off the bat is that it's super powdery. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is getting everywhere. Same thing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I don't know what is up with these powdery eyeshadows lately, and I actually have no idea what kind of look I want to do, so kind of just playing it by ear as I go, honestly. Okay, that's pretty. It's pretty. It's a gorgeous color, and it also blended out really, really easily. Like, it's not, you know, being difficult per se. That's really pretty. That's a really pretty soft brown shade. That's pretty. And again, that blended out really, really well. So definitely a palette that's easy to work with, and is really, really easy to blend out, and, you know, applies really well also. And also the pigmentation is really, really, really nice. Okay, and then to further deepen up that crease, I'm gonna take this shade down here, which is the shade Low Key. It's similar to the shade Slit that I just applied, but a little bit deeper. I'm gonna apply that right in the outer corner. Is anything coming on? I need to get a little more. Okay, am I tripping? I don't see any color adding onto my eyelids. I don't know if it's because the shadow is very similar to the previous shade, but y'all, like, this is my third time adding color on there and I don't see any change. Okay, so Low Key was a fail. Okay, let's go in with the shade down here on the bottom corner, and that is the shade Undone, which is a little bit darker than the previous shade, and hopefully this will show up. Oh my god, okay. It was going good until this. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm literally not seeing anything change. I see that's a little bit darker compared to my other eye, but I'm not getting hardly any color payoff. Like, the color that it looks in here that I'm trying to get is not transferring to my eye. So I don't know like what's going on. Okay, so I think I see it. It's adding color, but basically what it is the color that you see here, it's not transferring the same color. Like, it's adding on color. I can definitely see that it's intensifying that previous crease shade, so it's definitely adding color. It's just not the color that it's showing, which is strange, and which I honestly don't like. It's like if I'm picking up the shade, I'm picking it up because I want to see that shade, right? Okay, let's see if this dark brown will show up at all. I want to take this dark brown here in the center, which is the shade Timid, and I'm taking a lot. You guys see I'm swirling it a whole lot. Okay, yeah, this palette is a no-no. I can't get with it. And it's so funny because it started off so well, but like, you guys see that? Did you guys see how much I'm swirling this brush in this eyeshadow? And look, I'm pressing it directly onto my eye and nothing. Let's just leave the mattes alone and try to jump into some of these shimmer shades, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half the palette is shimmer. Let's see how it'll apply without Fix Plus first. So I'm gonna take a flat shader brush from Sigma. And let's take this shade here. I'm gonna take this shade here on the far end, which is the shade Exposed. You guys see I'm swiping a lot, like I'm getting a lot of product. Oh, okay, so that showed up really pretty. That's a really pretty shade. Okay, so let's try it with a little bit of setting spray. I'm gonna take the Model's Own One Night Stand 2-in-1 setting spray and spray my brush. Ooh, okay, now that's pretty. So the metallics work really well. And I don't know about all of them, but this one in particular, this one works really well because it's really pretty. I'm gonna tap a little bit into this copper shade here, which is the shade Drape, and apply this one into the outer part. And that's pretty also. That's really pretty. I'm going up and cleaning up the crease because I don't want that shimmer all the way up there. Okay, I'm gonna go in and kind of highlight my brow bone. I'm gonna take this soft champagne shade here from the palette, which is the shade Basic. Just pop that highest points of my brow bone. And then just go in with a clean blending brush and just blend out. Oh yeah, so those are the eyes. Honestly, I'm not wowed and or impressed. The shimmer shades are definitely gorgeous, but I would not recommend purchasing that palette just for those couple shimmer shades. They're not anything special, you know. Just clean under my eye. One thing I will say though is that I didn't get hardly any fallout, so that's a huge plus. So leaving the eyes alone for now, I'm gonna go ahead and take the primer. This is the face base. This is the mattifying face base primer. Now, I'll be honest, I never really have good luck with drugstore primers. I've actually never found one that I really just love. Especially mattifying ones. So, we'll see how this one is. If I can get it out. Okay, this is kind of hard to get out. What's going on? Okay, so for some reason the pump isn't working, so I have to just kind of scoop it out onto my hand, which is really strange. Okay, so this primer is definitely silicone based. If you've ever tried, like, what was that old, it's a Maybelline, I think, had that baby skin primer. It feels just like that silicone jelly consistency. And I can tell you that in the past, this has not worked for me. I'm not gonna judge this one off my past experiences, but I can tell you in the past that for my skin type, these primers have not worked because they're not actually mattifying. But we will see. If it doesn't have like a thicker consistency or like provide kind of like a barrier or like a thin layer of film over the skin, because it's like, how are you mattifying and basically controlling oil if you're not really controlling oil? I don't know, does that make sense? Let's try out this foundation. As I mentioned, I'm pretty sure it is the wrong shade. I mean, yeah, this is gonna work. But I'm gonna swatch it just in case, just to make sure. Yeah, that's too dark. It's not too off, but if I blended this in all over, it would be a mess. So I'm gonna apply it all over just because I do want to see what the consistency is of the foundation, but I'm gonna just mix it in with a lighter foundation that I own. I'm gonna take the NARS All Day Luminous Foundation in the shade Cadiz, which is just a little bit too light for me, obviously. Okay. And then take a blending brush and then just mix these two together. I want to take a setting spray and then just get to mixing. The foundation claims to be a matte foundation, but I don't think it is. And the reason why is because even though I mixed it with the NARS All Day Luminous, which is a matte foundation, or which is not a matte foundation, I have mixed this before with the mattifying foundation and it actually is matte. So the fact that I mixed this with this foundation and I'm not matte at all proves to me that the foundation itself is not matte. And it's not that it looks really oily or anything. It actually kind of has more of like a dewy finish, if that makes sense. Like, it looks a little dewy. The coverage, I will say, is pretty good. Like, basically almost all of my blemishes are covered away. It is still a smidget too dark, but I think we made it work for, you know, for the purpose of the video. Okay, so now it's the concealers. I am excited to try these out. These are the full coverage concealers. Again, I have the shade medium and the shade medium tan. I want to naturally gravitate towards medium tan because just off the sticker, it looks like it's a little bit more up my alley as far as shades go. Okay, so no. I mean, that's still a bit bright, but I can only imagine how the other shade would look. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in. Ooh, okay, I think I may like this one. Do you guys see this coverage under here? Not only did it completely cover up my blemish that I still had peeping through under the foundation, but it even kind of like covered up like my under eye circle or bag or whatever, like the hollow areas under my eye. So off first impression, you guys, aside from the fact that it's a little bit too bright for my liking, that coverage though, I can't lie, I'm pretty impressed with that coverage. The consistency of it is, it's a bit creamier, but it's not too thick, if that makes sense. You know how some concealers are like really thick, so like they're really difficult to blend out and move around? This is definitely not one of those concealers, and as you can see, it's blending out so easily. I also don't like the fact that it's not a matte finish. Like, if you guys can see in the camera, the concealer has a little bit of like, it's not even, I'd say it's kind of dewy. It's not matte, which I low-key kind of like. I like that it's not super matte. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes, my highlighted areas, set my face, bronze and contour, and then I'll come back with, you know, the highlighter and things like that. Okay, you guys, so while I wait for my lashes to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my highlighter. I don't know if I want to try the liquid one, the liquid illuminator, or if I want to try the powder highlight. I actually should have went ahead and tried to add the liquid highlighter into the foundation. I should have thought of that earlier. I didn't. I'll do it next time. But this is a really gorgeous color. It's the shade Luster, and it seems to me to be more like a really pretty rose gold. It's gorgeous. Yeah, that's really pretty. It gives you a nice subtle glow. I feel like low-key like this would be really pretty all over the body. Like, I feel like that would be really pretty. But next one, I'll definitely apply this into the foundation and see how that works. That's really pretty. You guys see that? A nice, like, subtle glow. Ooh. That nose highlight, though. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I really like that. That's like a really pretty, soft, natural glow. And I feel like even mixing it into the foundation, I feel like it would create like the most gorgeous, like subtle glow from within kind of look. So I'm gonna try to try that with foundation. Like, I think that'd be really pretty. Okay, so the two things I like so far are the Sculpt and Glow Liquid Illuminator, Liquid Highlight in the shade Luster, and then the Full Coverage Concealers. Those two for me are wins so far. And the powder highlight is in the shade Golden Sand, which is literally the most perfect, oh my gosh. But it's literally like the most perfect, most gorgeous, like, it's kind of like a champagne and rose gold mixed together. It looks a little bit more silvery, which I'm not hating on because this color is just that pretty. And I'm excited. Y'all, this color is so gorgeous. Okay, there we go. You guys see that? Champagne rose gold. Oh, okay, that's pretty. Okay, so you guys see how it's a little bit more silver, obviously, which I'm not hating on because it still looks really pretty. I'm gonna kind of tone it down a little bit because that highlight is really intense, which is a good thing. It's just really intense. See, that's really pretty. It's very different from like my everyday. You guys know I typically gravitate towards like more bronze or more golden highlighters, and I feel like this is a different look. That is so intense, but I like it. Oh, I really like that. That is really pretty. And again, you guys, this brand is really affordable, so this highlighter I'm pretty obsessed with. Like, I love that glow. Okay, so now for lips, I definitely want to take this shade Naked because it looks like a really pretty brownish nude shade. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips first. This is a light brown liner, and this is Cork by MAC. Okay, and then now going in with the liquid lipstick. Okay, it looked way darker on the sticker. I didn't think it was gonna be this light, but it's still really pretty. It is really pretty, actually. That's really pretty. Like, it's like a really pretty brownish pinkish nude. Like, it's a pink but it has a bit of a brown undertone. It's actually really, really pretty. Like, perfect for this look. So this I love also. So we've been doing good models on, except for the eyeshadow. Again, if the eyeshadow worked, it'd be great. That's the only thing that's missing. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara. Okay, and then lastly for the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of smudge out this liner on the lower lash line, just so it's not just like a straight line there. It's like kind of blended out, you know. Apply the mascara. Okay, and then to finish off the eye look, I'm gonna go ahead and just take one of the champagne shades from the Barely There 2 palette, which is the shade Playtime. So apply this right in the inner corner. Alright, you guys, so as you guys can see, I have gone ahead and changed my clothes and put on some earrings. I'm gonna go ahead and of course set my face. We did use a lot of powder and, you know, foundation today, so I'm gonna just go ahead and spray my face with the Model's Own 2-in-1 Prime and Set Spray. I love drenching my face in setting spray because I feel like the more spray you apply, the more natural your makeup looks. Okay, you guys, so after you guys have gone ahead and done all of that, here is the final look. Again, using mostly Model's Own product. I can honestly say that aside from the, you know, not so perfect foundation match, the skin looks really good. I think that the fact that I had applied a little bit of a lighter concealer and the fact that the concealer is actually really bomb really kind of helped to balance it all out, and it's made it look really, really nice. Like, honestly, I love the finish of it. In person, first of all, the coverage looks amazing. I did set my face with the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible Powder in the shade Classic Tan, so that definitely added a little bit more coverage, but overall in person the coverage is really, really nice, and it also looks really skin-like. If you guys enjoyed this full face using one brand makeup tutorial, and also the look, go ahead and let me know down below, and also give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and also subscribe to my channel. You guys have been loving my past 2 or 3 videos lately, and I'm glad that you guys are loving them. So let me know what you guys want to see down below, and also let me know if you guys want to see any other one brand tutorials in the future, and if so, what brand that should be. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and shut up and stop rambling and catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.